Welcome in, Bears fans. It is time for Bears Latest. I'm Dan Levy, Fan Art Sports, and oh my God, was that not the way we wanted to start a Bears season? Week 1 is now officially in the books, and it could not have gotten worse, and it could not have been a way that we did not want to start for the Chicago Bears. What a game. The first half was great. Caleb Williams marching it down, doing all the things that we were asking Caleb Williams to do, making great plays, getting a touchdown in the first series, which hasn't happened all last season, and showing signs of great, making connections, doing all the things they needed to do. He marked his first opening touchdown drive since 2023. Flawless early, completing his first 10 passes, the longest streak by any Bears QB to a start to a season since 1978. By halftime, Bears were up 13-9, and Nashawn Wright did a pick six in the third quarter and stretched the average to 17-6. Then the collapse. An awful, awful, awful collapse. Cairo Santos missed a 50-yard field goal after intentional grounding to call a stalled drive. The offense went stagnant under heavier blitz pressure from Minnesota, and the penalties that the Bears started to accrue, things that they were trying to work on all entire offseason, started to pile up. 12 flags for 127 yards. That includes 4 false starts and 2 costly DPIs. The Bears were outscored 21-0 in the fourth quarter as rookie quarterback for the Vikings, J.J. McCarthy, and the Vikings stormed back to win 27-24, which is just an awful way to go if you are the Bears. What a crushing night it was for that one. That was just a horrible way to roll. Caleb Williams, hot start, cold finish. First half, 13 for 16 passing, sharp rhythm, 1 rushing touchdown, which was awesome. Second half, he started to plummet, finishing with the NFL worst 29.4% off-target rate in week 1. Under fire, the Vikings blitzed him on 44% of second-half dropbacks compared to just 25 in the first. They made the adjustments, and Williams even admitted execution, not play calling, was the issue. We were in control of 2 scores. That mentally is something we preach. Ben Johnson, you got it moving, then all of a sudden it starts going backwards, negative plays, penalties, intentional grounding. It cost us big time. Chicago has now lost 4 straight games since 2021 in which they led by double digits entering the fourth quarter more than any other team. Bottom line for Chicago, that Caleb showed promise. Defense created a huge turnover, and the Bears looked like a different team under Ben Johnson for the 3 quarters. But the same Achilles heel from past seasons, penalties, execution breakdowns, and late-game collapses kept the Bears from finishing the job, which is exactly what we were saying before with this one, is that it just was ugly. It wasn't a great game at the end, and it wasn't just all Caleb Williams' fault. A lot of it is Ben Johnson. A lot of those calls were not great. That was his rookie debut. Looking at one point, they were at 4th and 3. Could have gone for a field goal in the first half. Instead, Ben Johnson decided he wanted to let it go. They should go for it on the 4th down. And this isn't a team yet to do that with Ben Johnson. You don't have Jared Goff. You don't have guys that you can trust yet with his offense where you should be going for it. And even though they were up by a pretty substantial amount, you still don't go for it with this team. The pre-snap penalties were ugly. That was an ugly look. And you can't help but say it. J.J. McCarthy, who looked horrible in the first half and looked horrible for most of the game, turned it up in that fourth quarter. He ended up going 13 for 20, 143 yards, 2 touchdowns, touchdown run, and 1 pick for a 98.5 passer rating, but found a way to win. J.J. McCarthy ended up looking better than everybody thought. I thought he looked terrible in the first half, did nothing but give balls away, and was doing nothing but just quick in and out, 4 downs out, 4 and out, 4 and out, 4 and out. But then the fourth quarter, 6 of 8, 2 touchdowns, a 14-yard touchdown run. That's the game. That's what happens when you do that kind of a football game. It just did not get pretty. It's a shame because they were really doing so well. It's one thing as Bears fans, we know when it's going bad and it's going terrible, then the whole game is bad. We know to expect that. But the way they lost, the way they went into this one, and the way that they were looking good, all pretty much until the fourth quarter when it got ugly fast, it was such a good game. Now we've got to give some grades out to some players. Caleb Williams, you get a D. Went open hot. Did great in the first half, but never found the rhythm after the first drive. The offensive line struggles, and Brian Flores' blitz package gave him problems. And the intentional grounding, not great, as well as a lot of pre-snap penalties. Again, wasn't Caleb's fault, but never really found that offense after that first drive. DeAndre Swift got a C+. I thought he did pretty well. He ran hard. Blocking wasn't there, but grew impatient as the game wore on. Solid effort as the lone back. Benungai, not really seeing too much out there, but I thought, to be honest, what we saw from DeAndre Swift, a lot better than when we saw the season before. DJ Moore, Rome Odunze, both had flashes. Odunze with a great early grab and a late touchdown. Moore battling after a brutal hit. Nothing consistent. I give you guys a C+. Zacchaeus emerging as a trusted option for Williams. He gets a C as well. He made some good plays out there, just not enough to get it down. Tight ends, Colston Loveland, Cole Kmet, a C-. Loveland was serviceable. Kmet was invisible until a highlight reel catch, but until then, he was missing catches that he should have made, and it wasn't great. Offensive line, the biggest letdown of them all. You guys get a D+. Constant pre-snap penalties, no run push, overwhelmed by stunts, expectations were high, and this was a disaster. You guys were supposed to be the part that helped the biggest upgrade of the entire offseason, was supposed to be that offensive line, and it just did not look great. Defense, not as bad. C+ for the defensive line, held strong early, faded late, Dexter flashed, Sweat drew attention, Odangbo stood out, but again, just that last fourth quarter could not stop the momentum that J.J. McCarthy was doing. Linebackers get a C+, solid. Even without T.J. Edwards, Noel Sewell was all over the field. Secondary shorthanded but scrapping as Sean's Wright's pick six was huge. Simply gassed by the fourth quarter, and it was done. Cairo Santos missing that 50-yard field goal. Maybe the worst possible moment that loomed the largest. That's a D. Torrey Taylor, not great. And Ben Johnson, a D- for you. The Bears beat themselves. Penalties, lack of adjustments, special teams miscues. Ben Johnson, however, he does own it, and this is what he had to say.
We said going into week one that the team that would make the least number of mistakes would win the game, and unfortunately, we were on the wrong side of that. We made too many there late in the game, myself included. There were a number of things that I could have done better, a number of things that a number of guys could have done better. When you look down at the stat sheet and you see 12 penalties, that's got to get cleaned up in a hurry, and yet we've been saying that all training camp as well. So we'll find a way to get that done. It's going to be a collective effort. No one's pointing fingers. Statistically, I really think the defense did a really good job up until the very end.
Oh, I'm pointing fingers, by the way. It's on you too, buddy. It's not just Caleb, it's on you as well. This was a winnable game. This is something that you guys could have won and just had a lot of issues going into this game. All the things that we were kind of worried about, we saw. The one positive is that I'll take away is that Caleb looked better. That first half was a different Caleb Williams. It was a different offense. Gonna take some while to gel as an offense and a defense. It's still only week one. This game was winnable. It became a collapse defined by penalties, protection breakdowns, and missed opportunities. And as Johnson just called it, a learning experience. But the Bears, you got to grow up fast. It's the NFL. Talent alone will not cover for execution lapses, and we need to get better on that. All right, moving on to a new situation, a new stadium. Bears president and CEO Kevin Warren confirmed in a letter to fans that the franchise intends to build a brand new stadium in Arlington Heights, about 25 miles northwest of Soldier Field. The move is being positioned as the team's future home with no state funding needed for construction. He wrote that this is the year to finalize our stadium plans so we can officially bid to host a Super Bowl as soon as 2031. This is the moment to begin moving forward that future, and we want you with us. And saying goodbye to Soldier Field. It's been open since 1924 and has hosted Bears full-time since 1971. And by comparison, only the Packers at Lambeau Field have had a longer stay in one stadium. The Bears can exit their lease in 2026 for $84 million, clearing the way for construction to begin in Arlington Heights. Should this get done, it is looking like they are projecting 56,000 construction jobs, 9,000 permanent jobs, $10 billion in overall economic impact. and it sounds like they are going to be building a dome. So we will see what happens with this one. More to come on that. Nothing is finalized yet, but one thing I can say for sure, Tuesday morning, we're all feeling the gut punch. And even though the Packers won, they still suck. Thanks again for joining us. Bears Latest. I'm Dan Levy, Fan Art Sports. We're going to do it again. Hopefully we can turn this one around and make it a next better week as we look towards the future with this one. Once again, thanks for joining us. Jump into the comments section. Let me know what you thought about the Bears. Any positive takeaways I'll take right now. I just don't see it, but let me know who you were most disappointed with in the comment section. Like, subscribe, comment, all the good stuff. Share with your friends. Hit the notification bell and subscribe and hit that little bell on there. So that way, every time a new episode drops, you'll be notified. Thanks again for joining us. Packers suck. Bear down.